Hi everybody and welcome to my SALT TeachMeet 1660 presentation on top tips for tip-top techie language teachers. My name is Joe Dell and I'm a former languages teacher myself and now an independent languages consultant. So we haven't got long, so let's crack on. So in this session I'll be sharing some practical advice on effective ways of using digital technology to enhance teaching and learning. There were so many ideas I could share, but I've decided to whittle them down to these ones today in this particular session. Okay. So let's make a start. So if you haven't heard of the TILT webinars, TILT standing for Technology and Language Teaching, then that is a fantastic resource for you to access completely for free. Back in March 2020, myself and my friend Helen Myers, who is the chair of the London branch of the Association for Language Learning, decided to help teachers, not just members, but any teachers from around the world at the start of the pandemic with their understanding on how they could use technology. And so we've done over 140 webinars, all of which have been recorded and are available on my YouTube channel, which you can see the link at the bottom of the page there. And also Helen has written up all the different presentations, as in the notes around the presentations on the AWL London website as well. So in addition to the TILT webinars on my channel, there are lots of other presentations as well that I've given or I've hosted, which I would really encourage you to have a look at as well. There's a real treasure trove of ideas there. So that's the first tip that I would give. I'd also encourage you to subscribe to the MFL Twitterers list, which is a list which I manage, which has around 5,000 members. It's the sort of the practical way of looking at the MFL Twitterati community, in the sense that you can subscribe to the list, you can follow what people are tweeting about on a daily basis. You can also follow the MFL Twitterati hashtag, but I think that you'll probably find that the MFL Twitterers list is even more comprehensive. So let's say for 10 minutes every day, if you just spend a moment to look at the MFL Twitterers list or follow the MFL Twitterati hashtag, you will find lots of amazing ideas, amazing people to connect with, and it's just an absolutely brilliant way, in my opinion, to improve your own professional development and have that regular drip feed, informal PD, professional development that you can get via social media. So the MFL Twitterers list and the MFL Twitterati are a must network, I think, for you to all join if you're not a member already. Okay, the next piece of advice I would give is around giving students digital praise postcards. So the idea behind this is you can record some audio using a tool such as Vocaroo, which makes it really simple. You can just record your audio. You can export the link as a QR code and then put the QR code onto the praise postcard, and you've got all the different links there which allow you to make a copy of the templates that I've created for you so that you can just get up and running straight away. So the idea is that you can record your voice saying what a good piece of work a student has done. You then put the QR code onto the praise postcard and share the praise postcard with the parents of that child. Now you can download the image of the postcard in a Google Slides presentation. You can also take a screen grab of that image using a really cool Chrome extension called Quick Share Screenshot, which I'd really recommend as well. Or you can just take a screenshot and then post it into a Teams channel as well. So a digital praise postcard, I think, for encouraging the students, saying what they've done well, but using your voice is a really, really nice idea, I think. So that's why I'm sharing it with you today. Another fantastic tool which is wonderful for promoting speaking and writing through this random nature of pulling up different names or different images is Spinnerwheel.com. So Spinnerwheel.com allows you to have an individual wheel or up to 8 wheels on the same page. You can add in emojis, you can add in images, you can add in text, so you can use it for a name picker, you can use it for sentence starters, you can use it for building sentences in general, giving visual prompts and written prompts to encourage speaking and writing. If you haven't seen Spinnerwheel before, then I'd really encourage you to check it out, as well as Wheel of Names, which is a similar idea, but you can only have one wheel with Wheel of Names. Another idea which I would really recommend from the point of view of accessibility and for practicing pronunciation and for encouraging independence is Immersive Reader. Now, Immersive Reader is part of Microsoft. So, for example, in a Microsoft Word document, you'll see that you can get the text read back to you by launching the Immersive Reader, but it's also part of lots of other different tools such as Wakelet, which, if you haven't heard of, is a fantastic tool for collecting links and images and PDFs and tweets and things like that. You can also find Immersive Reader with this unofficial Chrome extension called Use Immersive Reader on website. So as the name implies, if you find a website which you want it to be read back to you, all you have to do is highlight some text, right click it, click on the Immersive Reader icon. It will then read it back to you. It will automatically recognize the language, which is fantastic. And you'll notice on my screenshot here that there are 3 different icons, and that will allow you, for example, to tell you in the text what are nouns, what are verbs, what are adjectives, etc. It will allow you to color code the text as in the screenshot. You can also, as I've said, have it read back to you. You can also launch a picture dictionary automatically, so you can click on certain words and it will give you a picture. You can turn on the translation option, so you can translate individual words as well, or the whole text. There's lots and lots of ways in which you can use this in the languages classroom and outside the languages classroom as well. If you want to use Immersive Reader within a Google Doc, then you can use a Chrome extension called Helperbird, which allows you to launch Immersive Reader within a Google Doc. And there's also a version which allows you to read text on the website, similar to the Use Immersive Reader on websites Chrome extension. So there's the Chrome extension called Helperbird, and also the Google Doc add-on, which is also called Helperbird, which allows you to read text within a Google Doc. So there's lots of ways in which you can use Helperbird, I think, for encouraging independence. I'd also recommend using what was called Office Lens, which is now called Microsoft Lens, as a way of taking a picture of a piece of paper, a worksheet, a poster, whatever it might be, and then digitizing it so it then becomes a digital version. You've also got the Immersive Reader within that as well, within Microsoft Lens. So that's another way of being able to read back the text which you've grabbed. And here's a little tweet here from Damien recently saying how he found it incredibly useful for digitizing notes and making documents that you can then edit. And I've put some YouTube clips here as well to give you some homework for you to have a look at those as well. There's also the Microsoft tool called Photoscan, which, as you can see in the screenshot, allows you to take a picture of some text which is not editable, but you put it into Photoscan and suddenly it grabs all the text out of that particular photo and it makes it editable, which is incredibly useful if you find, for example, a website, you want to take a quick screen grab, put it into Photoscan, and then it will then give you that text which you can then edit and turn into a worksheet or whatever it might be that you want to do. For those people that use Google, then you can do the same thing in Google Keep. You can upload an image into Google Keep, click on the 3 dots on the note, click grab image text, and it will then turn the image into editable text. You can also do this for handwriting, and that's why I've put an animated GIF here to show you how this works. So this is literally just me using using Google Keep to take a picture of my handwriting on a piece of paper, and I can then grab image text, as you see in the animated GIF, and you'll see that underneath it now says this is a test. So you can actually grab your handwriting and turn it into editable text, which is pretty amazing. And you'll see here as well from Jérôme Nogues that you can also upload an image into Google Drive. You can right click it, open it in Google Docs, and it will also perform an OCR on it. In other words, it will make it editable as well. So there's lots of ways in which you can do this sort of grab image text idea in a Google and in a Microsoft environment. Okay, also in a Microsoft environment, I would recommend trying out the closed captions feature in PowerPoint. So in PowerPoint, what you can do is you can click on the slideshow option. You then click on the subtitle settings. Once you've done that, you can then click on the spoken language, choose the language that you want, and then you can also have the subtitle language appearing underneath. So I remember showing this to a group of European teachers recently, and we had the spoken language as English, but the subtitle language was Ukrainian. So for students coming in from the Ukraine, coming into different schools from around Europe, It meant that the teachers could talk in their own language in their PowerPoint, and the subtitles would appear underneath, and they were absolutely blown away by the idea. So that's why I'm sharing it with you today if you weren't aware of that. It is possible to have closed captions in Google Slides, but it's only available in English. So to do that, what you have to do is you have to click here on the three dots, you go to Caption Preferences, you choose your text position and text size, and then you click on Toggle Captions. And now when I'm speaking, as you can see, the captions are appearing at the top. But if I were to speak in French, it wouldn't recognize what I was saying, or another language for that matter. To turn them off, I click on the three dots again, go to Caption Preferences, and then simply turn it off, and there we are. Okay, so those are closed captions in PowerPoint. And then last but not least, I would recommend having a look at the web tool called Gifcap.dev, which is amazing for capturing the screen, a little bit like Screencastify, which also lets you capture the screen as a video, but this captures it as an animated GIF. You can choose the start point and the end point of your GIF. You can also crop the areas out that you don't want. This I've made in Jamboard, but I could have made it in PowerPoint or in Google Slides, and I'm just showing here how you could use this animated GIF idea for practicing word order. So you as the teacher could model the information, and then you could then ask the students to create their own GIFs and then insert them into, say, Jamboard. You could insert them as a background or insert them into a PowerPoint, write some text next to them, etc, etc, etc. If there are other ideas you'd like around animated GIFs, then do check out this presentation that I did for the language show back in November last year, and it's 45 minutes of lots of different ideas on using animated GIFs in the languages classroom. So I really hope that you found this useful. Here's the presentation, is.gd/6 for 60 Joe Dale, or just scan the QR code. And thanks ever so much for listening. Enjoy the rest of the event.